Day 4 of the Anderson Tendulkar Trophy Test Series, England vs India at Headingley, Leeds. Brilliantly positioned, with either team at stumps having a chance of winning. India, having set England a victory target of 371, have to defend 350 when play resumes on the fifth and final day on Tuesday. India, after having been bowled out for 364 in their second innings, adding 6 runs to their first innings lead, it is a total of 370 that they have to defend. England went to stumps on day 4 at 21 without loss, with Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett surviving the 6 overs that India bowled at them. Anything is possible. India will depend heavily on that one man, that one bowler, Jasprit Bumrah. But unlike in the first innings, India's other bowlers, Prasiddha Krishna and Mohammad Siraj, should not leak runs and at the same time share the burden of taking the wickets and make it that much more easier for Jasprit Bumrah. The pitch still good to bat, as we saw on day 4 when KL Rahul scored that magnificent, outstanding, flawless century, and Rishabh Pant, after scoring his 50 runs, stepped on the accelerator, scored his second 100 of this test match, and becoming only the second wicketkeeper after Andy Flower did it 24 years ago for Zimbabwe against South Africa. Mind you, Andy Flower's feat in that match in Harare ended on the losing side, and though history does repeat itself, I firmly believe that Rishabh Pant will set that particular record straight, and India have a brighter chance of going 1-0 up in this 5-test series. But then you cannot discount England, knowing the conditions very well, having the batsmen to attack, 350 more runs to win in 90 overs on the 5th day. India will have to be at their best discipline when it comes to bowling, should not leak as many runs as they did in the first innings, and share the spoils along with Jasprit Bumrah. Whether India will feel the absence of the second spinner, only time will tell. Kuldeep Yadav would have been a handy customer on the day 5 pitch, but then India will have to settle with only Ravindra Jadeja to do the wicket-taking part along with Jasprit Bumrah and the other medium pacers, Prasiddha Krishna, Mohammad Siraj and Shardul Thakur, who was not used fully in the first innings, bowling only 6 overs. If he comes to the party, nothing like it. England, 21 without loss, 350 more to get. England will fancy their chances, but India, with 10 wickets to take, they can still do it, but then it all depends on how good the support is given to Jasprit Bumrah. There is rain forecast for the second session, but then hopefully rain stays away and we have an exciting 5th day's play on the cards. India set England a victory target of 371 after being all out for 364 in their second innings thanks to contrasting hundreds by KL Rahul, the opener. Brilliant, cool as a cucumber, played like how a test match innings has to be played, and by Rishabh Pant, like only Rishabh Pant scores. Second 100 of this test match, only the second wicketkeeper to do so, 200s in a single test match after Andy Flower of Zimbabwe did it against South Africa in 2001 in Harare. Resuming the penultimate day at 90 for 2, India lost their captain and first innings centurion Shubman Gill to the first over of the day, the first full over, because yesterday, day 3, play was called off because of rain, with Shoaib Bashir bowling only 5 balls of his over. Bashir completed that unfinished over, and Braden Carr's, the first full over of day 4, last ball dismissed Shubman Gill as he cut and played on to the stumps after adding 2 to his overnight score of 4. But it was all brilliance. KL Rahul opening, scoring a magnificent 100, sharing 195 with Rishabh Pant. Though it may have been only 63 runs added in the first session, with KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant building on a partnership, India consolidated in the second session between lunch and tea when they shared 145 for the loss of Rishabh Pant in those 27 overs between lunch and tea. Rishabh Pant, after reaching his 50, began to accelerate, switch gears, and went after the England bowlers. Whereas at the other end, KL Rahul just played according to the merit of the ball, kept his end tight, and even if wickets were to fall at the other end, Rahul was as solid as a rock. He was unshakable. He did play his strokes, but he played every stroke, every boundary along the ground. No risks taken by KL Rahul, but Rishabh Pant, on the other hand, played like only he does. After reaching his 50, like I mentioned, Rishabh Pant began to switch gears, and at one stage, he even surpassed KL Rahul's score. While KL Rahul reached his 100 in 202 deliveries, Rishabh Pant reached his 100 in only 130 deliveries. And at one stage, when KL Rahul was batting on 113, Rishabh Pant had surpassed him with a sweep for 4 of Joe Root. So 195 for the 4th wicket between Rishabh Pant and KL Rahul. That gave India a total to bowl at. But as it happened in the first innings, when India's tail collapsed, rather they lost their last 7 wickets for only 41 runs, it was again a collapse in the bottom half, with India losing 6 wickets for only 31 runs, slipping from 333 for 4 in 84.1 overs to 364 all out. And at one stage, India lost 3 wickets in 4 deliveries to Josh Tongue, who eventually finished with 3 for 72 in his 18 overs. Braden Carr's 3 for 80, Shoaib Bashir 2 for 90, while Chris Wokes and Ben Stokes took a wicket each. Whether 371 is enough, one cannot be sure. Though rain is predicted rain is forecast for the fifth day in the session between lunch and tea, this 371 could even be not enough, because we have seen in a previous test match involving England at this very venue, the Headingley, England made a successful chase of a victory target of 359 against Australia way back in 2019. And that test match, England gave a fantastic chase led by Ben Stokes, who scored that magnificent 135, and the last 60 odd runs in the company of number 11 Jack Leach. England were around 280 for the loss of 9 wickets when Jack Leach joined Ben Stokes, and with a target of 359, Ben Stokes just single-handedly won the match for England against Australia in 2019. So we cannot be very certain with this target that India have set, 371. It could be enough, it may not be enough, because Ben Stokes stands in between India and its victory.